Hi everyone, this is Gaddy Toniquette from MoreThanASnapshot.com. Today I'm coming to you with the unboxing of the new Canon 5D Mark IV. It's been pretty exciting waiting for this to come. It's finally here, and I have to confess I did already open it, and so it's kind of a faux unboxing. So we'll be digging into the box and seeing what's there, and I'll give you a few impressions of what I think so far. And let's get started. Let's see what's in the box. This was not in the box, I added that after. Of course, you get some manuals, and it is a pretty big and chunky manual. I have been used to shooting the 5D Mark III, so most of it I'm quite familiar with, and there are a few new things with regard to Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff that I had to go through. Then of course we have the manual and the driver software, which for my current computer does not have a CD drive, so that was not useful at all. So all you have to do is go to Canon's website, register, and download the current software. Of course, they have the manual in another language, which looks like it's Spanish. And we have the battery charger, which looks like the same battery charger that was there for the 5D Mark III. It could be a little different because there is a new battery for the 5D Mark IV, but it looks like it's all the same size, and the batteries are interchangeable, so I don't think there's any problem with that. Nothing new there. Alright. This cable looked a little strange when I first saw it, but it is just a USB 3 cable for connecting to your computer for either transferring files or for shooting tethered. You can use it to directly do that. And it has this little jerk stopper thing, which is kind of cool. So you connect that into the side of the camera and then plug the USB in. So that's a nice little addition. It was not in the 5D Mark III, although they had a USB cord. And came with the battery in the little battery tray. Of course, I have the battery in there already. And of course, it came with the eye cup and the Mark IV strap, which I don't really use, so I haven't even taken that out of the packaging. Alright, so that's it for the box. Let's just get rid of some of this stuff. Of course, the camera came in there too. That's what we've all been waiting for. Here is the camera. Looks very much like the 5D Mark III. It's got a few different variations. It does seem to be a tiny bit lighter. And of course on the back we have this addition of this new button. And I'll talk about what I assigned mine to. And it's got, of course, the touch screen, which is very nice. And what else is new on here? Not much. Oh, the microphone port is now in the front, and everything else is pretty much laid out the same way. And so there's that. And then I had to get some new cards to go with it since it's faster, it shoots bigger files, this, that, and the other thing. I didn't go with the most blazing fast SD card because I don't plan on putting a whole lot on the SD card. I plan on just sending a small JPEG to the SD card just for quick file transfers, maybe to my phone or something like that. So it is still a good card, SDXC UHS-1. It's a Sony, it's supposed to be able to shoot 4K video, and I have it. This is the card I use in my GH4, so I know it's a good card. It's just not the most cutting edge in speed. It shoots 94 megabytes per second. and the faster one was just a little bit faster. So there's that. And then I got the Lexar Professional 1066X, 128 gigabytes, because I'm assuming with the video this is going to shoot some very large files, so I believe that one card will give me about a half an hour of video. So I got the 2-card pack just in case I need to shoot an hour's worth of video. I do some video and some stills. I do mostly stills, but it's nice to have that ability with the video. So that is a very fast card. I did get the fastest one because it's going to be writing all the 4K video to that card. Alright, so let's put a lens on here. I just happen to have a wide-angle lens sitting around. This is the Canon 17-40. I didn't buy any of the new lenses, not the new 24-105. I have the original 24-105, and I tried it on here, and it works just great. The image quality looks great. I don't see much of a reason to trade it in for the Mark II one. Of course, I haven't tried it. Same thing with the 16-35. I already have, this is the 17-40. It's an excellent lens, and I'm sure the picture quality is going to be good. So that's where I am with the lenses. I've also tried it with my 400mm f/5.6 and with a teleconverter. So I tend to shoot a lot of portraits, and I tend to shoot some landscapes and a lot of wildlife. So that's the kind of things that I'm looking for. It's going to be a great camera because it's just an evolution of the 5D Mark III. So we're going from 22 megapixels now to 30 megapixels. So the image quality is going to have a lot of detail in it, and I have found that to be excellent when reviewing the file, zooming in on all that great detail. It's nice to be able to crop the image and still have a large file when you're done. Also, there are big improvements in noise and dynamic range. And so I'd say for noise, it's possibly almost 2 stops better than the 5D Mark III. And there is some better dynamic range, although I haven't done a whole lot of image processing yet. The other really great feature of this camera is the autofocus system. The autofocus system seems to be even better than what was in the 5D Mark III, and I've seen other people say that it's just as good as the one in the 1DX. And the dual pixel AF for focusing in live view is tremendous, much better than the old system in the 5D Mark III, and the focusing system through the viewfinder is excellent too. So either way you go, you can't beat it. Now I know that there's a lot of people out there complaining about the video features, but it does shoot very nice video, and what makes it easier to shoot nice video with this camera is that the autofocus system is tremendously good. So while there may be drawbacks with the codec and all kinds of little problems that people are complaining about, it is seemingly an easy camera to shoot video with, and the quality is very good if you've got the computer power to process it. The one thing that I did notice is when I tried some video with the 400mm lens with the teleconverter, any little movement you did see quite a bit of rolling shutter. With the wider angle lenses, of course, I'm sure there is some rolling shutter there, but it's not as noticeable as obviously when you're using such a big telephoto lens. Back to the still side, as far as using that 400mm lens, even with the teleconverter, this was one of the things that I was most pleased with. The focusing, even with the teleconverter on, was just as fast as focusing with no teleconverter. It was awesome. And so if you want to shoot wildlife, it may not have the fastest burst rate or the longest burst, but boy can it focus even with a teleconverter on. And so that was the other thing I was interested in testing. How was the burst rate? And 7 frames a second is, I think, pretty, it's good enough for wildlife. For sports, it may be a little bit slow. It would be nice to have the 10 frames a second. And the buffer, of course, is not as big, but the buffer does seem to be big enough to get a nice run. I think certainly long enough for most of my wildlife shooting. Again, maybe with sports, not quite long enough. The camera was telling me I should have been getting 12 shots in a burst, but I was getting like 17 and 16, 17 in that area. So that's quite a good run. And if you give the camera a little time to catch up on the buffer, you can make another big run. So it'll be interesting to try it out for some real wildlife photography, but I think that it'll be good. Should you upgrade or not? In a lot of ways, it is a big jump over the 5D Mark III, and in some ways, it's not. So, you know, the 5D Mark III is still an excellent camera, and if that's what you have, it may not be worth $3,500 to upgrade to this next level, unless there are certain features in here that you would really depend on, like having more megapixels, having a little bit faster burst, and having a much improved autofocus system. Not that there was really anything wrong with the autofocus system in the 5D Mark III, it's just this one is even better. Also, you get the additional benefit of some 4K video. Like I said, even though I know there are a lot of complaints about what they've done with the video here and things like that, this is still a tremendous camera, even though they may not have given us everything that we wanted. Also, the dual pixel focusing for video is tremendous. You can just touch the screen where you want it to focus and it switches back and forth, and it's just tremendous. It makes shooting video so much easier. I think it will be a tremendous camera, and I will keep you updated with future videos on how the shooting is going with it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this has been Gary D. Tonicourt from morethanasnapshot.com.